Beathard and Paul Trapeni and what happened. That group of friends, they all got together at Wilson McCullough's house. Wilson is one of the friends, and they went to his parents' house. The whole group, they were about 21, 22 years old in their junior and senior years of college, and they were home for the holidays. It was Christmas time. And so that Saturday night of December 20th, they all got together, hadn't seen each other in a while, and they got together at the McCullough's house. And they'll tell you about what was going on, that they're really just talking, catching up because they hadn't seen each other in so long. They actually got together for a group photo. So you'll see a picture of all of them that was taken that night. You'll hear from Emma Yoder. She was one of the group of 10, and she'll tell you about everything that was going on at the McCullough's house. And you'll see that picture and see all of their group of friends. And she'll tell you that at some point they were actually planning on going to downtown Nashville, but they kind of got caught up and catching up and talking to each other as well as talking to Wilson McCullough's parents. And so by the time they went to go out, it was kind of late. And they had some friends that were in the Midtown area. So they decided to go meet up with them. They were some people that had graduated from school a little before them. So the group, they actually go to a bar called Kung Fu first, but they leave there because they have friends that are at the Dogwood Bar. And you'll hear from everybody in that group, and again, they are away at college. They hadn't been there before, but they go to the bar, they're hanging out with each other. They had all taken a ride share down there. And you'll actually see surveillance video from inside the Dogwood Bar. You'll see the group of people. You'll see Emma Yoder. She'll tell you about what was going on. You'll actually see that group of friends hanging out together. You'll see Clay Beathard as he's standing there talking to his friends. And you'll see Paul Trapeni as he's talking to his friends. In those minutes before their lives were taken from them. You'll hear from Thoby Favre. She was the other girl in the group. And she'll tell you about what a fun time that they were having that night. That it was just so much fun to be able to see each other. You'll hear from Sam Folks. He was one of the guys that was in the group. Campbell Parker. You'll hear from Patrick Wells. You'll hear from David Bates. Again, Wilson McCullough, that's whose house that they were at. You'll hear from AJ Bethurum. You'll hear from every single person in that group. And they'll tell you about Clay Beathard and tell you what kind of guy he was. You'll see Clay in the surveillance video. He has on a white sweatshirt. He's tall, blonde hair. And you'll see how he interacts, but his friends will describe him to you. Describe the kind person that he was. That he was kind of a jokester, a little bit of a class clown. And Emma and the rest of the friends will explain that the only person they knew that was more of a class clown than Clay Beathard is Paul Trapeni. And you'll actually see in that surveillance video, as those friends are hanging out right before they're leaving the bar, kind of the silliness that ensues with Paul Trapeni and his friends. And you'll be able to see how much fun they were having. And that this was supposed to be a normal night of friends together, just celebrating getting to see each other home for the holidays from Christmas. You'll also hear from a different group of people. You'll hear from the people that went to that bar that night with Michael Mosley. You'll hear from his friend J.C. Harper, Daniel Sevilla, and Sergio Alvarado. Their group of 4 arrived at the bar that night, and you'll see surveillance video with them in it. You'll actually see surveillance video where at some point Mr. Mosley and Mr. Alvarado leave the bar and walk down the street for a minute, and they come back. You'll see them as they're standing kind of in the same area as Clay Beathard and Paul Trapeni and AJ and their entire group of friends. And you'll actually see that they interact with some of them. And seemingly, everything is normal and fine. You'll hear from Emma Yoder that earlier in the evening that Mr. Mosley had come up to her, that he had tried to dance with her. Now, there isn't surveillance video of the dance floor, but she'll describe that to you. And that he tried to buy her a drink, and she declined and said no. And then you'll see in those moments when the security guards are kind of telling everybody, okay, let's go out, let's leave. You can actually tell a difference in the security cameras of when the lights in the bar are off and when they turn them on. Because when they turn the lights on, the surveillance video is in color, but otherwise it's kind of a night vision. And at the end of the night, as everybody's getting ready to leave, you'll see Mr. Mosley walk up to Emma Yoder. Walk up to her, touch her, lean into her,